Let us look at another example here. When you look at example 4, what is the outside function? And what's the inside function? What do you think the outside is? Type your answer in the chat box. That's right, Joseph. That's right. That's right, Luis. I think for this one, it's kind of easier to see it's because it literally looks like it's on the outside, right? Like we have all these different notations, like we have, the one that makes the least sense is F composed with G of X like this. I mean, it looks like fog, but it's not. That's like a very, very small O. That means composition. But the way that we effectively use it is like this. So I hope you guys can see, like, it's like F forms a wrapper around the G. And when I look at this, sine kind of forms a wrapper around the inside function here. So I hope that all of you guys can see that the outside is going to be sine of X and the inside is going to be X to the 4th plus 3X squared. Is there any questions about that? No. All right, cool. So let's do this then. H prime of X. By the way, maybe I should give these names. I haven't been, but should I have called this one F and this one G? I don't know. It's really more about how you see it. Cool. So the derivative of sine of X is cosine of X. You got to keep the inside, which is X to the 4th plus 3X squared. You got to multiply by the derivative of the inside. And then let's just calculate what that derivative is. It's going to be cosine X to the 4th plus 3X squared. And then the derivative of the inside, that's going to be times. Make sure you put parentheses around here. I can't remember who it is that keeps forgetting to put their parentheses in, but definitely don't want to forget those. So the derivative of X to the 4th is 4X cubed, and the derivative of 3X squared is 6X. So this is our derivative. Is there any questions about this example here? No questions. All right. Are you sure? Okay. Let's see if I think you're ready to try an example. So try example 1 and try example 1 first. All right, let me show you this. So I feel like a lot of this early 2.3, 2.4 stuff is it's really trying to see the problem correctly. So the first thing you should do is when you look at this, you should see that you need to use a chain rule. And the way that you see that is that you can see that there's an outside function, and the outside function is like X to the 7th, and the inside function is 3X to the 5th minus 2X cubed. So now that we see that, when we go to find H prime of X, we could use the power rule first. You'd have 7 something to the 6th power. You keep the inside thing, which is 3X to the 5th minus 2X cubed. You got to multiply by the derivative of the inside, which I'm going to write as 3x to the 5th minus 2x cubed. And then I'll just calculate that derivative in the next step. So I'm going to copy this first part here. And then when I multiply by the derivative, again, make sure you don't forget the parentheses. This is going to be 15x squared minus 6x squared. Okay. And that would be my answer. Is there any questions about this first one?
Why is the 15x squared?
Oh,
Is it to the 4th?
so forth. Yeah, sorry. I think I already was looking at the next one. Let me fix that. Thank you. For sure, it's to the 4th. Okay. Yes, Joseph, it should be 15x to the 4th. That is correct. All right. Would you guys mind raising your hand real quick if you got this one? Just so I have some feedback. Oh, good. Perfect.
Is it all right to distribute the 7, or do you want us to just leave it there?
Oh. If by distribute the 7, you mean something like, say, 3x to the 5th to the 7th power minus 2x cubed to the 7th power.
Oh, okay, I see it.
This is called the freshman's dream. It's highly illegal. You actually have to do 7 foils. So it's terrible. That's why the chain rule is so powerful. Yeah, you can't do that.
I got it. Thank you.
I'm kind of glad you asked because someone always tries it, you know. I feel like I should give you time to try number 2. I mean, we got to finish the rest of the worksheet, but let's get into some practice with some of these easier ones first. And then, so try number 2. If you're one of those people that finished early and you already did number 2, then do number 3 as well. But let's do number 2 first. Let me go over this with you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this as an exponential form. And we know that the square root is really 1/2 like this, right? So the outside is going to be x to the 1/2, and the inside is going to be 2x to the 7th minus 25. And I'm only writing this at the beginning because I think when you're trying to develop a feel for it, it's not obvious. But my hope is that eventually you're like, oh, this is obvious. That you don't even have to write that. You just start writing your answer. So when I take the derivative of the outside, the derivative of the outside is going to be 1/2 times something to the negative 1/2. We got to keep the inside, which is 2x to the 7th minus 25. And then we multiply by the derivative of the inside. So then this is just going to be 1/2 2x to the 7th minus 25 to the negative 1/2 times. And then the derivative of the inside is just going to be 14x to the 6th power minus 0, but I'm not going to write that. Does that make sense? This number 2 here. Any questions? All right.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
So for number 2, we don't put it back into like a fraction format, no?
Oh, you could. You totally could. I don't need to see that if you're asking about what I'm looking for, but you could totally rewrite this as like square root of 2x to the 7th minus 25 in the denominator because of that negative power. So I'm glad you recognize it would be a fraction and that part goes on the bottom. But I just leave it like, I like exponential form actually.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm not sure if I gave enough time for number 3, but you can follow along if you weren't able to finish it or start it. So I'm going to rewrite this as sine of x plus cosine of x to the -3. What's the outside function in this case? If you haven't tried it, what's the outside function? Anyone? Yeah, that's right. So when you take the derivative, you should write a k prime. Don't just write it equals. Like sometimes I have students, they do a problem and they write equals all the way down, but they took a derivative along the way. And you take the derivative, it's not equal to k of x anymore. It's now the derivative, right? So this is going to be -3 to the times something to the -4. You got to keep the inside, which is sine of x plus cosine of x. And then we got to multiply by the derivative of sine of x plus cosine of x. And that's just going to equal to -3 sine of x plus cosine of x to the -4 times, make sure you put parentheses, cosine of x minus sine of x, like this. And that's going to be our answer. Do you get this one, Jason? Silence must mean yes. Cool. Is there any questions about this, my friends? Reagan, you get this one? Yes?
Yes.
All right, good. Someone wrote in the chat box, I want to say this is easy, but I don't want to jinx myself, LOL. It's okay to feel good that you're getting it, you know, like math is not supposed to be like, well, I can't swear, but oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. You know, it's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like, oh, I see it. Yes. Oh, I see it. Yes. You know, and just try not to make dumb mistakes like me.